penalty.
Season. Here are the two managers, beginning with the United boss, Ruben Amorim.
Well, Ruben, we've just seen your team use 3 changes from the other night. What's the thinking behind that selection today?
We have to rotate some players because with this kind of schedule, we have to rotate. Don't forget that we play 1 hour with less one player, 120 minutes, and then I felt in the last game that we need some changes, and that's all. Everybody's prepared to the game.
Have you seen a reaction in the last couple of days from the last quarter of an hour of the Southampton game? Has there been a bit of a boost to all the players?
The best thing is to win. The feeling is so good, and we need it a lot. And today we have to continue to win games, but also we need to improve our performance, the way we play. I think we need to control better the possession of the ball. I think that is the biggest thing that we have to improve, because in that way you can defend better. So instead of focus on defending, we need to improve with the ball, creating chances, and to control the game with the ball.
Well, Fabian, we've just seen your team use 3 changes. Is it like Ruben Amorim just told us, rotation is necessary with this run of games?
Yeah, for sure. I think to have that many games in such a short period, it's important that you get fresh players on the pitch, that you find a good balance between players who already played and players who are now new in. I think too many changes are not good for the structure, so it's important to find their balance.
I know at Ipswich you spoke about how you controlled the game in the closing stages. I think United are looking to control the game here today as well. So what's going to give?
I think it's important that we try to get our style of play on the pitch. So this means, of course, controlling the game, but playing also intense without the ball. And I think it's key against a team like United that you press intense, that you don't give them time, because if they have time, they have the individual quality to outplay you, and therefore we have to press really intense. We have to press together. But when we have the ball, of course, we want to control, we want to dominate the game.
It's the midweek win for Brighton, their first victory in 9 games. In terms of Manchester United, you mentioned right at the top of the show, the only player to come out with any credit at the moment is Ahmad. Now, under Ruben Amorim, he's had a continued run. You saw his first game there at Portman Road against Ipswich. He's got 6 goals in his last 8 games. What's impressed you the most about what he's taken on under Ruben Amorim?
The thing that's impressed me the most, these positions don't really exist in kind of Amorim's formation. I think obviously the one thing he does brilliantly, obviously he's a good finisher in and around the box, but he makes good runs. He's smart. Look at this one. I love this clip. Look, run there, and then another little run, and he keeps moving. He's so positive. That touch is ridiculous, and the finish to score. He's the guy now you look to and say, right, can you get us out of trouble? Everybody passes in the ball. This is at 82 minutes. Nothing happened. United was so poor, but we're absolutely fantastic. He's the guy now. Literally every Man United player, Jermaine, say, we get the ball and we pass it to Ahmad, and he's got to go make something happen. But somebody else needs to help him.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the goals, and you speak about his effort. You know, he's willing to run, not only come to feet. He's quite direct when he gets it. He's dynamic. But it's just been a joy to watch, to be honest. I mean, he went to Rangers, didn't really happen for him. You know, went to Sunderland, they loved him. You know, wanted him back. And he's a young player, and he's got into this Man United team, and he's been the one really you look at and think, you know what? When we need someone to step up and do something, you know, plays like that, things that you can't coach, like he's the one.
Like many teams in the Premier League, they are searching for that striker, that goal scorer. We mentioned Rasmus Højlund on the bench today. Joshua Zirkzee, what about the way he's come back? I know you can't empathise because you were never in that situation where you were taken off within half an hour of a game. But from that moment, the response, personally, character-wise, of him?
Well, I think, there's one thing is, you know, Man United fans are great fans. They'll back him. But, you know, that's difficult for any player. You know, when you get taken off after half an hour, you know, it can't get any worse, to be honest. I think for him, you know, if I was in that change room, I would just say to him, you know what, just get your head down and just work hard. And I thought against Southampton, he come and he made the difference. You know, the ball came up to him, he held it. It just seemed like it was a lot more sharper, more fluid in his movement. And that's all he can do, really. But yeah, of course it's difficult for any player, you know, a young player, a senior player, no player wants to come, even if you get taken off at half-time. It's embarrassing, to be honest. But I think for him now, you know, it can't get any worse. just keep your head down. I know it sounds boring. You keep your head down and just work hard as you can, and you get rewarded.
Because he affected the game when he came on Thursday, didn't he?
Well, to be fair, he affected the game against Arsenal when he came on in the Cup, first and foremost, and obviously the penalty. I mean, the courage to step up and take that after what happened a week before, I only think you ever know football players when it's difficult, and then you see how they manage with that. Jermaine makes a good point. He would have never had a worse moment in his career. And then, as a player, you think, right, how am I going to get out of this? The only way you can do it, Steve, is if you work. Came on against Arsenal, put a shift in, he worked, he scored. And then he came on against Southampton, he did the same. But today's a big one. He needs a big performance because Højlund hasn't solidified that position for himself. And Man United need a number 9. Goal scoring is the biggest weakness at the moment. So it's a huge opportunity for him. Just show what you did against Arsenal and Southampton, and who knows, he might stay in the team.
And in opposition today, a man you both know well, back at Old Trafford, like a fine wine, getting better with age, Danny Welbeck.
Well, everybody loves Danny Welbeck. The nicest guy, literally, in the world. I mean, it's a shame he's not at Man United because, you know, he could still be there playing and doing the business, but, I mean, he's keeping out, you know, Ferguson and, you know, some of the absolute amazing players, but big Manchester United fan, Danny, so he'll be...
Top player.
Top, great lad as well.
I think also, as you get older, I think you understand your body better. You know what it takes to sort of like just get yourself ready for games. When he was young, obviously, he got injuries and that, but we spoke before, didn't he, about some of the big goals that he scored for Man United. You know, he's a good finisher, he's strong, he runs in behind. And it's just so nice to see him do well because, like he said, you know, away from football, he's such a nice guy.
He has scored 6 times against United since losing them. Can Brighton win it?
Andre Onana is in goal as usual. Harry Maguire returns at the back. He was just a sub on Thursday. And Diogo Dalot is back from a ban after his red card in the FA Cup. Amad Diallo's brilliant late hat-trick saw off Southampton. Joshua Zirkzee is given a start after impressing as a sub in that game. Lisandro Martinez, Rasmus Højlund and Alejandro Garnacho dropped to a bench that includes Anthony, who's been linked with a loan move to Real Betis. Fabian Hurtela also makes 3 changes from the Ipswich game. Bart Verbruggen is his first-choice keeper. Lewis Dunk returns. He was sent off here in United's last win against Brighton 3 years ago. Carlos Baleba and Yassin Ayari stay in the midfield roles. Yakubu Minte returns to the starting lineup. And so does Danny Welbeck, who's back where it all began for him at Old Trafford. Adam Webster and Simon Adingra dropped to the bench, but Matt O'Reilly is out. Jorginho Ruta has scored 3 goals in the last 2 games.
And that in the Premier League era. More from Owen and Jermaine on the way. So much to reflect on from those 3 games. But of course, we will also look at 4 Manchester United. But delight for Brighton. They've won 3 games in a row at Old Trafford. Jorginho Ruta scored 4 in 3. And here he is.
Big 3 points away from...
And play our football, so yeah, today was okay.
Delight for Brighton. We said it was poised at 1-1 at half-time and anything could happen, but the unthinkable did happen for Manchester United again. 4 defeats in 5 home games, and the goals they gave away in the second half.
Dreadful. Just dreadful, honestly. I mean, amazing at the back.
Do you not think Onana could do better there, though?
Maybe. Sometimes I think the ball is so good. It's so good, the keeper doesn't think I can get there. But defensively, goalkeeper, they struggle to score goals. United have so many issues, it's crazy.
Talking of Onana, he had a horrible moment for Brighton's third.
Yeah, I mean, it's individual mistakes, isn't it? Individual errors, especially at this level.
On target.
Steve, they never look like scoring. You know, they scored from a penalty. That was it. You know, Brighton had 1 disallowed, scored 3, probably had numerous chances outside of that. But, I mean, you see the graphic there, the last 6 results. Everybody's given United trouble. I mean, Southampton were last place with 6 points from 60 and could have got something. So when you think you're going to play, you know, Newcastle and you're going to play Bournemouth and you're going to play Brighton, you're going to get punished. And I think that's the worry for Amorim. You know, he's come in, he said, look, I'm going to play this way. You'd have to say it doesn't suit the players that they have right now. It's not just about playing your way you want to play, which is fine. You've got to find a way to get results. That's it.
And they're not doing. 11 points he's got from a possible 33 since walking through the door.
If you're conceding goals, though, but if you don't like scoring, there's got to be a problem. Apart from, I think his first game against Ipswich, I think it was the Rashford goal, the first one.
They could have lost that game and all.
Yeah, but even that, you look at it, you think, okay, you can sort of like see the patterns, what he's trying to do, and you think, okay, but apart from that, really, you just can't see what they do in terms of in possession. Out of possession is too easy to play against.
I think they struggle to keep the ball with this formation sometimes. You know, I think to progress it between the lines, because there's only 2 central midfield players, I think it's hard to keep it. You know, so you're relying on individual moments like, you know, from Ahmad to kind of get you out of trouble, but defensively, you know, they don't look great.
And aside from all that, are you seeing the right attitude, the right effort, the right application?
Yeah, I don't think it's an attitude thing. I don't think it's an effort thing. I think the boys are trying, but obviously, you look
they
at
look a little bit confused to you.
They probably are confused, yeah, because they're trying to do what the manager wants them to play a certain way, and they're going to do it, right? Because if they don't, they're not going to play.
Right.
But I think the recruitment's been a huge issue over the last 3-4 years. You look at Brighton; they had 6 players in that starting 11 that would start for Man United. That should never happen, ever. With the utmost respect, they shouldn't have players that get into a United team. They shouldn't even get in the 18, and they got 6 that would start at Man United. So it goes back to recruitment. You know, how much did Ten Hag spend? 600 million. And there's not many of those players that would start for another top 4
Which
side.
isn't Ruben Amorim's.
No, I know it's not, but what I'm saying is it goes back to recruitment. They've got to get recruitment right. But again, I think it's such a danger just to recruit because we play this way, we play a 3-4-3. Because what if Ruben eventually goes? You know, then you start with those players as well. So I think they need to be a little bit more flexible, a little bit more variable than this, because it's not working defensively or offensively.
They never seem to be in control, though.
No,
when you watch the games and that, you never think, especially at home, like they never really seem to be in control. They win the ball back and you think, okay, then can they gain some control and get some passes, have a spell? Never seem to be in control. And on top of that, can they, you know, go forward and create chances? So I mean, Ahmed, you give it to him and he was, okay, just go on with it.